Hello everyone. Please make yourself comfortable. I hope you're aware that is a live on YouTube. If you have any question, which I'm aware of one of them, I think we talked about last week about water and food. I will restate again. The person who asked the question is actually in the in-house Zoom meeting. Drinking a lot of water is not how much you drink, the way you are drinking. It also makes a difference. I drink 1 liter of water in one go, and then I don't drink anything for next 5 hours or 6 hours. I drink another 1 liter in one go. That can also be unhealthy for the kidneys as well. Best practice. I think I wrote an article long ago, was published in hydrotherapy, I think. You should not drink water before food and after food. First thing you drink water, maybe a pint or 2 pint. When I say pint, I'm not referring to the beer. Some people get idea the pint means beer. So you drink a pint or 2 pint of warm water, not cold water, or neither hot water. Warm, lukewarm water, first thing in the morning when you wake up. For some of you don't actually have any water, you go for espresso cup of coffee to wake yourself up. You roll out of the bed, you walk into the kitchen, have a cup of coffee. Your body already acidic, giving coffee to your body first thing in the morning is not a very wise decision. So I will recommend to maybe take a 2 pint of lukewarm water. You don't need to add any salt, you don't need to add any honey or lemon, nothing, just plain room temperature lukewarm water. 2 pint of it. Say, but first thing in the morning, that will make it very difficult to drink. You may feel like puking, throwing up. It's very normal because the pitta is quite high in the body. So you drink water, you go for a little walk, the maybe 50 meter or 100 meter if you can. If your flat is itself 50 meter, walk a couple of times up and down in the corridor. If not, if you can go out for a walk, that'd be great, around the block. Then you go for your morning practice, what you need to do, like to go to toilet, get yourself fresh. You should not go to the loo without drinking water. Important part. Because it will not, otherwise it strains your kidneys and your intestine, your bowel movement will not be healthier. And what do you call it? Irregular bowel syndrome, IBS, or I know there's new disease, I think. There's been for a long time, or discomfort, or the digestive system disorder. So, if most of the bowel movement problems, excretory system, and the digestive issues, skin issues, are all subject to water. If your water intake is healthier, including arthritis, joint pain, micro. So many things actually, if you develop a good habit of drinking water, you can create a good foundation for your health. So first thing, you drop the coffee, drop the tea. If you have habit of drinking in the morning, you go for lukewarm 2 pint of water. If you cannot take a 2 pint, you start tomorrow, but you start throwing up. Not a good idea. Start with the pint. Increase it slowly over time. Your body can take approximately 2 pints of water with no hesitation in the morning. And slowly you will find out your bowel movement change, means you have healthier digestive system. And then you go for a walk, then sit down to your morning call, have shower, and practice yoga. Some of the people don't actually even have a shower before they practice yoga. Or they say, but body is the temple. I'm going to see a God. You should at least get fresh. Look yourself at good hygiene level. You know, look refreshed, attentive. You're half sleepy and practicing yoga. Not worth it. So good, have a good shower. Make sure that you are mentally awake, you physically awake. Then you go to a yoga practice or meditation practice. Then after taking the water in the morning, after you have practiced yoga, give it a good half an hour or 20 minutes, or at least drink again 1 glass of water, not a pint now. Glass is approximately 200 to 220 ml of water. You take it. Then you space it in such way. So every you do it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. If there is any skin issues or either dryness of your guts and suffers from IBS, also the joint pain, the early stage of the joint issues, including arthritis. I'm not claiming that will completely cure it, but it can help you to develop a healthier joints. If somebody have it, there is no harm in try, because I'm only asking you to drink water, but in different structure. It's not going to be any harmful. So every 2 hours you take a glass of water, not cold water. Ice water is poison for you. Do not drink. Nice lukewarm room temperature water, you drink it every 2 hours. You pace it such way, you 30 minutes before you have your lunch, you drink water, and there is nothing after eating a food, you allow another half hour or 45 minutes, drink again glass of water. So carry it on. Before you go to sleep, do not drink. Maybe a drink approximate hour before, hour and a half before. And make sure you have a good sleep pattern. Don't go to sleep too late. If you go to sleep late, your body will start retaining the water. There is a pattern for your body, certain time. By 10:30, 11, you need to make sure you are flat in the bed. Not with a mobile phone and TV remote in the hand. You flat in the bed with yourself, not with a mobile phone. So you maintain that for 3 weeks, and you notice the different amount of toxins that comes out of your body, but that you have to do it religiously. Not like you do it 3 days, 4 days, you forgot about it. In the end, you got drunk in the evening, eating a heavy meal. Later in the evening, you should not have a heavy meal. Especially, meat should not be part of your diet anyway, because you develop uric acid and also loss of acidity in the body, and your joint pain come from there. So that will be the good start for the drinking water. And maximum water you will start probably consume somewhere 3 liter to 2.5 to 3.5 liters somewhere, depending on your BMI, how high body is. But for my size of the body, I think 3 liter water is perfectly enough. If I was 6 inches bit more taller, that would be 3.5 liter. So that's the one question for the water intake. If you excess water, if you take 5 liter or 6 liter water and have a bad habit of drinking water, you take the water straight out of the fridge and you drink it. It completely creates a fluctuation to your homeostasis in the body. Also gives the shock to your digestive system, and your homeostasis goes out of balance, the circulatory system goes out of balance. You say, my body is not operating properly because you give a shock to your system. Similarly, when you eat a food, your food should not be really, really hot. It should be a lukewarm, not boiling. I've seen people eating like a food come out of oven, boiling hot, steaming. They stuff it in the body. It's not good for your system. You're giving shock to your system. Always eat a food that is a room temperature. Now it's really boiling hot, and because the heat, you can't even chew it properly. You go blow bubbles through your mouth. Those little things make big difference to your system, especially if you're practicing yoga. If you're practicing yoga, you need to maintain a certain level of good, healthier digestive system, a good, healthy eating, and water drinking habit. When I say drinking, some people think about other drinks as well. So I'm making clearly drinking water, not teas. Your sometimes people flavors inside the water. That is also not good for you. Just drink plain water. Tea with flavors are not good. They becomes a food for you. Your system goes in processing system mode. But when you drink water, your system doesn't really work that hard to process, uh, induce enzymes into the processing. The molecule level of water doesn't change. So that's conversation about water. If somebody is drinking too much water, don't drink it. Especially do not drink water while you're practicing yoga, pranayama, or meditation. If you have habit of drinking water, like every yoga posture, take a little sip of water from the nipple, what do you call it? Nipple cap. I don't know what you call them. Like a habit of the going back to mother's breast, basically. Those but nipple caps reminds like it's going back to the childhood. So don't drink the water while you're practicing, especially yoga. I don't know other sport what you do, but I only can talk from yoga point of view. Avoid drinking water while you are practicing. Must have a water nearby to you in case of emergency, but do not drink it. Emergency means choking a fact. The sometimes it require, but don't drink water. I've seen people take a sip of water middle of meditation. I say when I meditate, I don't even remember I'm meditating. If you can think about drinking water while you're meditating, obviously you are not meditating well enough. So next question was about judgment. There was a judgment question. How how to overcome judgment in overall roundabout conversation? You can judge people in different places. You can judge people physically, how they appear, how you could judge people, how they look, how they are, how they behave. Socially, you can also judge them economically, how well they are doing. You judge people also emotionally, how emotionally stable they are, how emotionally unstable they are. You judge people also the based on the spiritual development, how spiritually you are. You can see that all you need to do go visit any yoga center. You find out every yoga teacher, there's the other yoga teacher, how spiritually, how well they are. Despite the support to practice, no judgment, by the way. But they're judging each other. My yoga practice is better than yours. I can do this posture, but this person cannot do that yoga posture. But support to practice a no judgment. That's one of the terms and conditions of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So I always say, who cares how well you can do a pigeon posture, how well you can do the flying pigeon posture? Nobody cares. It's your posture, you get benefit, and nobody else's business. But people still do it. So and the teachers compare I had more people in my class and comparing their success level to the other person's success level in the amount of people participating in the class. It's irrelevant. You should enjoy yoga. So obviously, there's lots of practitioner, the practicing, but they still judge on spiritual terms or yogic terms. Not every yoga practitioner is the same, my friend. Whoever asked the question, I will not disclose it. Remember that. So you do not need to worry about if somebody is spiritual, will they now judge you or will they now judge themselves? Actually, when you are judging somebody, you are not judging them, you are judging actually yourself. You are judging yourself because you try to label or to tag it to the certain level of equality, or there is a deep down a insecurity, whatever level it is, or a lack of self worth, or it is a jealousy most of the time. However, it is, judgment is there. Nobody can ever be free from judgment. If, as long as you develop the santosa is being contained, or acceptance is also part of it, simplicity, till you make your mental structure, not you create a, you become a totally minimalistic in life, but your mind is not minimalistic. You are not minimalistic. Your mind still desires, you're not simple yet. Your life is very simple, but mind is not simple. You are not simple. So time till your thinking becomes simple, compassionate towards to you as well as to others, love towards to you as well as to others, accepting other people as they are as well as towards to yourself. Other people judge you, develop a compassion. You will not feel their judgment. If somebody is judging you and you have no compassion because they're actually not judging you, they are judging themselves, they're having a self valuation against your existence. They are having a self valuation, either is valuation emotional, social, economical, or spiritual. They're having a self valuation. They need to have valuation against something. They're having it against yourself. So you can react to it or you can have compassion to it. Having compassion because you have to always think a one step positive. Not only the make a story about it, but also understand their place, why they are judging you. If you can come from the place of acceptance of their mental limitation or the physical limitation or social limitation, however they are in the given circumstances in their life. If you accept them, you will not react to anybody's judgment. But if you don't accept them as they are, you are going to react. It will feel like judgment, as being judged. But as a person, if you have ability to judge other people constantly, means you are having a self-valuation against somebody else, not actually accepting yourself as you are. So it's a some point of and especially in a yogic lifestyle, sometimes people use a judgment word in a, out of context. They maybe not judging, maybe they just have ability to discern. They know what exactly right or wrong is for the given circumstances, a given place, and what is required at that time. So it's not maybe a judgment, it's just ability to discern. Maybe you need to develop more ability to discern and think a bit more in awareness, alignment with your judgment whenever you're judging or getting judged. Bring a spiritual angle to it. Why are you doing it? Is it getting hurt somebody? Are you getting hurt? Or your judgment causing a pain to someone? If it is, how can you minimize that pain? So again, come from the place of compassion, come from the place of love, come from a place of acceptance. The only way you can overcome or grow out of judgment of other people as well as self. Self criticism is a very uh, difficult sometimes. We have a low self esteem or have a low self stamina. You start judging yourself constantly, not actually feeling worth at all. And that is a hard judgment. You always have a self awareness to understand who am I. There's different word in spiritual terms we use as a viveka, constantly ability to discern, to understand yourself, uh, not getting wrapped up with the idea of the mind, buying into the whatever idea the mind is presenting to identify with. So in that space, you constantly observing yourself, constantly assessing your existence in that non-adjustment. So if you can find a way to self-contemplate, try to observe it, and try to assess that actually how I'm feeling, is that me? Is that real me? Rather than labeling yourself. And if when you start labeling people, it becomes a judgment rather than a observation. Observation and judgment are two separate things. Ability of discern and judgment are two separate things. So first you need to encounter what is the source, where what ignites the judgment. When you get judged, do you react? Do you react because other people are envy of you or they are jealous of you? Again, build a compassion. Again, build a come from place of love, a come from place of kindness. The all the love, more love you have, and more acceptance of yourself and other people you have, the life get more smoother. And the moment you start fighting with yourself, it becomes more complicated. So judgment and the self-observation are two separate things. Judgment and the whatever level it is, either material, spiritual, social, or economical, how people like to phrase it, or bodily as well. Develop compassion, cultivate compassion, cultivate kindness, cultivate acceptance. Not send them, okay, I'm being kinder to you, I'm not going to react to you because you're judging me. That's not going to happen because you will regret it afterward. So don't create a resentment by developing the idea of forgiving because nobody actually created any problem in the first place. I think we talked about forgiveness last time. So if whatever you see outside, everything is a individual projection. Nothing is happening outside, all is happening inside. It's everything that I see, I perceive, I feel is nothing happening outside. It's all happening in me, my awareness. So when somebody is judging, is actually I can choose to be in the way how do I feel that I'm being judged or not feel that I've been judged. When I'm judging somebody, it's my self-evaluation. It's not about other person. It's actually about myself. So think from higher place. If your judgment coming from very low tamasic nature of the human being, that is a very animalistic judgment that have anger. If your judgment combine anger, frustration, resentment, and towards to the envy or the hatred towards to it. And those qualities are very tamasic, combined with judgment, gives a very negative outcome. So once you more yoga you practice, the meditation you practice, you slowly rise above your tamasic nature. You rise above from the tamasic vibration of the body, which is the low frequency of the body. They are needed. I'm not saying you completely ignore them, start living up in the head. No, you need to learn to accept them. Those lower energy is also essential part of your existence. Without that, that doesn't exist. That is your survival instinct. That you need to transform it, but not understand it, but not to be affected by it. So that comes with the practice. That comes with a understanding. That comes with a override association. What you call it, Sangha, that we're actually be doing now. That also calls the food also affects it, practice affects it, the way you think, the how your lifestyle is makes different to it. So every action you do have impact on your samskaras, your thinking. Some people say the you can do any action as long as you are mindful. You can practice mindfulness. Okay, the mindfully can I slap the face? I'm mindful of it. I'm not creating any karma. Is that okay? Not really. It's actually a violence. It is also in the intention of my mind. So the mindfulness is not done in a I'm mindful whatever I'm doing. No, no, not that not possible. Mindfulness, you also need to consider, are you in a state of compassion? Are you in a state of kindness? Are you in a state of awareness of yourself, whatever action is taking place at that time? Are you fully aware? Or not just only aware what action is happening? So it's not the case. As long as you are in a state, whatever you're doing, your action is not harmful, not willfully harming somebody, but you're aware of your action and you take a fully conscious decision to it. And you are mindful at the time while you're doing it. No problem. They said, somebody was having a debate, talking to me, it's okay. As long as I kill the goat mindfully, I can eat it, I'm very mindful of it. I say that is a violence. Doesn't matter how mindfully you do it. It's not a your decision to do that. How can the you can be mindful and be practicing that killing? There is no compassion. There is no love. There is no kindness. So sometimes we take spiritual practices or spiritual word to shoot our need, to justify our actions. That is also a not right practice. But it's personal opinion. There is no offense. If somebody doesn't agree, that is your problem. Uh, it is no offense should be taken by it. This is my personal opinion. So doesn't matter what practice you do, as long as in your practice there is a violence involved, there is a either you done it or somebody else done it, still there is a act of violence. There is act of lack of kindness or compassion in there. If there is lack of compassion, kindness, you eating actually pure hatred and resentment and anger and frustration, and you hope to be loving and caring and kind person. Not possible. your molecules in the body, your emotions in the body actually get affected by it. I think I have a doctor friend who was sharing the story. This is the medical practice, by the way. There was one very violent guy who was a pure, loving, hateful, very angry person. The angry person liver is very different, you know. And the person got in prison, and there was a one nice, good guy who was a pure, loving, saint kind of person, and who was in the prison for life death sentence. He got hanged, but he actually gave his organs away. But that person's liver got fitted into the very kind, loving, caring person. Now, this person, after some time, his liver start developing his memory into the person's body. And now this person craving for meat, craving for violence, craving for aggression, craving for hatred towards each other. Now people actually in shock say, what actually have taken to this person who was a pure, loving, living, kind human being, completely changed. Who actually never ate meat in his life, now only want to crave the meat because the cells in the body became a memory distributed to every part of it. So whatever you eat, it does have influence on your thinking. It does have influence on your mind. It does have influence in your behavior. Some people say that I eat meat, but I'm a very kind person. Are you kind only in words, my friend? When the reality hits, you go back to the same place. So I have seen lots of people who eat vegetarian vegetables, but they are very violent as well. It's not about only being vegetable, but your awareness, what state of mind you are in, as well as doing the action. So always take a choice from a health point of view rather than from a religious point of view. So if you take it, always think for kindness to other people, kindness to your body, because eating meat can never be healthy for your body because it has a high level of toxicity. Meat is not clean, have no high potency of energy as other things provides it. So I have witnessed many experienced people who regularly cannot live without meat. They come for 3 week program. They struggling even for first week. I can't live. I can't cope. I can't live. I can't cope. But when they walk out, they said, I feel a lot more healthier in my body. My taste buds are different. My thinking is different. My joints are different. I have a living example called Michael Elliott. So first time he came, he was craving. He was looking for the ideas. How can he find it in the town even? But change. So slowly, effort is required. If you want to create a transformation, it doesn't happen in one day. You know, just like you wake up tomorrow and your whole life will change. No, it any progress is happen momentary, but moments over some time you will get. You may not even see it that your perception have changed, your lifestyle have changed, your thinking have changed, but you have altered your perception. When you start witnessing alteration in your perception, and other people start seeing the alteration of perception, means you are transforming. When that transformation start taking place, it's a good growth. That I call it evolution. Without transformation, idealistic situation does not create evolution. Alteration of perception may create it. So whenever you feel judgment, try to look from different perspective to it. Either you're getting judged or you're judging somebody. If you're judging it, why are you judging? But if you're getting judged, why somebody else is judging you? So create a more compassion in a way. Compassion in action, not idealistic situation in the head. Compassion in action, kindness in action, love in action. So all those activities you bring into it, life transforms, life changes. Is there any other question, Miss Alden? Are you happy with your answer? Don't come up, just whoever it is. If you have a question, you can send email back again. We can talk about it next week.
Can I ask a follow-up question, Yogi?
What is it? Please go ahead.
So I have a concrete example about the judging. I'm judging a couple of family members who are not healthy, but they are not going to the doctor and they are not taking care of themselves. So in a way, I love them so much, and I want them to be happy and healthy and fine. But I can't drag them to the doctor or ask them to change their lifestyle. So
You do not need to, because you've done your bit to make them aware. They do it, not do it is their problem, their life. You actually care for them. That is your care and love. It's not judgment. It is care and love. It's not judgment. You should not call that a judgment. That is actually your love and care towards somebody for them to be better. But only it becomes a judgment when you start comparing yourself. Look at me, how great I am, how healthy I am, but you are not. You can be like me. So that it becomes a negative judgment. What you described it is a supporting care and love. That's not judgment in any way.
I feel like I'm judging them for not taking actions. So you wouldn't consider that as judgment.
No, you maybe classify them being lazy. You can classify them as somebody who's careless, not really interested in life. I will not actually call it judgment. I will just say simply careless people don't know who doesn't want to take care of themselves. It's their problem. You should not actually stress about it. Maybe more you say it, more attention they get, less they will do it. Sometimes maybe they're getting attention from you. Maybe you don't give them enough attention. Now they get attention, they're not going to do it. Maybe say it one time, pull back. Let them face their own reality. Give them a thinking from different perspective. Maybe coming from you might be difficult. Or if you get somebody else talking to them, might make completely open up their eyes. So, but you should not feel bad about encouraging somebody. If I see that every day, how much hard time I give it to my students when I'm teaching them, I'm probably judging them 24/7 when I'm teaching them. You don't have to turn your toes in. So, by you judging me, my toes are perfectly fine. Yes, I am judging you because your toes are not in the right alignment. When I do teach training program, I judge them throughout the time. That's not the judgment. It is for their betterment. It is for their growth. Nothing to do with me. They do it or not do it. I make it very clear. You grow, not grow, it is your problem. Not going to contribute to what to me. So the somebody with if somebody start complaining that you're judging me not breathing properly in yoga posture. I like to breathe the way I am. I'm perfectly happy. Sure, I only have to do my job. That's not judgment. It is my advice for somebody else's growth for their betterment. So you don't no, it's not judgment. In my opinion, personally, I don't call it judgment. Okay. So just send them love, send them a good vibration, and send positive vibration. Rather than say they are not doing it. Maybe say they are doing it. Soon, slowly, they will do it. Send a positive message, not concrete message. They are not doing it. Which you have already made a decision. They are not doing it. It's a different. Make it perspective. Send either uncertain vibration. They are doing it, and they will do it. But you keep on hammering. If I give up on my students when they come for teacher training, I guarantee you, nobody will actually learn even to stand up in public domain. Some people actually, even your dear friend, got really upset with me for the first weekend because I put her in front of the people. And people have social frights, but I didn't give up. She's judging me or angry with me, upset with me. That is her problem, not mine. I did what I need to do and carried on doing it till she grew. And that is, if I see in a what need to be done, you should do it. So you keep hammering them, keep telling them to do it. Maybe one day they'll listen. Like I keep telling Michael, don't to be addicted, And he's the no Michael. So he not listening. Maybe one day he will listen. I told him, don't be scared. He talks very brave. His statements are very brave, but sometimes he don't implement them. But I have not given up on him. I will carry on telling him. But he don't. The good part is he's not scared of me telling him in public. He actually owns it, that what it is. That is a good sign. Before he used to cover up with a good smile. Now he's becoming more aware. It's one day, it's a matter of time, it will click. So it's a progressive, a slow progress. Okay. How many times your friend asked you to come to yoga class? Oh, probably sometime. And here you are, maybe one day you can make a decision to do it, and you are doing it. So it's just a moment, it takes time. Sometimes the car has been stuck, never been start, you try to grind it, start, not going to start, takes time. Repair it. Mental repair, social repair, psychological repair. And then one day hopefully it kickstart. So same in your way. Your friend, keep telling them. One day they may listen. At least if they don't listen to you, you will not feel bad that you didn't do your job. So on that note, I'm going to take Basil. Is there any other question?
Unless people here have a question.
Anybody in the group have any question?
No more on YouTube either.
Okay, so I will